Hi, today I'm on a mission of embracing chaos. I'm on my first day of period. The house is a mess, and I am extremely lacking any inspiration, and I have very high demands of myself. So, as you can imagine, it's not a great mixture. So, today I'm going to just. What the fuck was that? I just want to be kind to myself and see if I could film a video while giving myself comfort and taking care, and also just lowering my own expectations a little bit, because I feel like with every video I feel like I have to do really good, and maybe I don't have to do as good as I think. Or maybe my very good is not even that good to somebody else. So it's like endless, you know? And yeah, if this is to be sustainable, I have to know how to film on a bad day. So I'll take you along. And we make a little dinner, we'll do a little chopping, a little prepping. And maybe then we draw a thing or two. Who knows? Who knows? And you're gonna find out. And you're gonna find out. Isn't that great? Perhaps it is much too loud if I put it right there. Huh? Ugh. Now that will simply take me forever. I really hate cutting like small amounts of garlic for dishes, but cooking without garlic is blasphemy. So I like blend a lot of it with a little bit of oil, and then I freeze it in these bags, and then I can just like put a little spoon every time I cook. And this is for the minced balls. This onion needs to be smaller because it's for the balls. This is for the meatball. The the food is cooking itself. Good job. What do I want to do next? What I want to do is I want to lay in bed with tea and just watch stupid things. But what would that make me feel better at the end of the day? Probably not. What is nice and would make me feel like I cared for myself? Maybe some drawing. But first, I think I have to clean this table up a bit. Yeah. objectively, the table hasn't changed a lot, but it doesn't matter, it's not the point. It's as long as I have some space for my sketchbook, it's okay. A little bit more satisfied with myself now that I'm making a fun experimental meatball and greens dinner. And it's always nice to, just sit in front of white paper and contemplate what might happen next. I've been loving a combination of jasmine tea and like a lemon mint tea together. And yeah, I love tea, but I'm no snob, and I drink plenty of tea bags. So anyway, what's fun to draw? Lately, I've been thinking that I really want to make a small comic book. When I say comic book, I imagine it being something in between a comic book, graphic novel, and like a book that just has illustrations. Like I don't really enjoy that much anymore, like the gridded comic look, even though I used to work in the grid quite a lot, but now I'm more of a, I don't know, I guess the best way to describe it, like imagine the book from Shrek, imagine like some sort of manuscript and there's just like things happening. So that's kind of like the style that I've been. So dusty. Everything is dusty. I mean, the chaos is because we are having renovations done to our place, and it's like, it's just gonna have to be like this for a few days. So I'm just like, I'm trying to accept it. So I had this one idea for a book that I could start working on, and I really wanted to do something D&D inspired. Surprise, surprise. And something very like fantasy, whimsical, magical. And my last idea was to make a book about sort of like about a retired dungeon monster. Like he's retired, but a dungeon is a dungeon and people still come and he's like bound to it for all eternity, but like nobody canceled retirement age, baby. I'm talking about it as if I know what retirement works like. I will not be qualifiable for any sort of retirement, I feel like. Definitely not in the country I'm from, and probably not in the Netherlands either. I don't know, I feel like, to my understanding, there is an age at which you can retire, and then it's okay, you don't have to work. But so this guy, I want to call him Belgimov, and basically like he wasn't even a monster before. He kind of lost to a witch in a poker game, and she bound him to a dungeon to terrorize some inbred families for all eternity. And I want to like slowly reveal what he actually looks like, and also just kind of give a story on who he was before he got bound to this dungeon. Because I feel like I mean, of course there are monsters who are born this way, but I feel like also a lot of them kind of go through a certain transformation because of what expected of them. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've been thinking a lot lately about what we can learn from fantasy, and like I've been reading essays from Ursula Le Guin, and I'm just super fascinated by how fairy tales and fantasy kind of, I don't know, makes you make sense of our world in a way. So I like the layer of like sometimes what makes you a monster is not like it's kind of like what is expected of you and stuff here. So that's why I think that he kind of went through a transformation. A certain transformation took place as he got bound to the dungeon. Yep, capiche, capuche. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, there isn't really. I'm not about to like write a script or anything. I just want to doodle things and see if any interesting ideas come, or like, you know, maybe I'll just draw some dungeon sketches, something like that. So yeah, if you're interested in that sort of fantastical shenanigans, please tag along. My name is Masha, and I do all sorts of shit over here. Mostly I draw. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm working with so far. Is it not too dark? It is quite dark, but that's okay. So this is kind of how I think he might look like in his monstrous shape, but like kind of almost vapor-like, almost like mist. He's basically like, I mean, yeah, this was like my little drawing of the like two little pages, kind of like going down the dungeon and how he's like you see these two eyes. He's kind of like in all the crevices of it. So he kind of like omnipresent person there. And this was like a legend about like this is basically how he looked before. And I ended up accidentally kind of making up a whole new species. So Belgian moth or moth mota, he is like this sort of dude and like well, okay, I'll just read you this little fable that I wrote about him. It's in Russian, but worry not, I will translate. Okay, so he had 6 nipples, and from his nipples he fed his 6 daughters until they grew old enough and burrowed themselves back into the earth. Basically, these guys. Oh yeah, here I also wrote all their names start with M because they're born from magma and then sent up to grow. Later, they move the soil. They move under, like in the layers of the soil, spreading magma's warmth through the earth, and then they choose the time. Then they choose when the time is now. They return back into the magma. And here I kind of again really enjoy this almost like a Buddhist way of looking into life and how they're all connected, because it's kind of like magma is this like giant energy pool, and basically like they came from it and that's where they return, and like it's always, you know, like there's no new energy, it's all coming from the same pool of energy and everything is energy, kind of like man, if you stayed here up until now, it's only gonna get more and more whack from here. I I mean, but this is what I actually really enjoy. Like I love making up stories. I love telling stories. I love sort of the balance of real and imagined and how it yeah, like I don't know how we find meaning in things and how like random small ideas just like become something other people can also understand. And but hey, we're not here to philosophize. We're here to have fun, okay? Let's not get carried away, amigo. However, shortly after beginning, I realized that I actually would much rather just watch some cozy YouTube videos with my strange, delicious stew dish and just chill the fuck out.
It's not too shabby, yeah?
Good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful, rainy Sunday afternoon now, I guess. Happy afternoon. Good afternoon. What's up? Uh, my plan to make myself draw yesterday became a failure, but I started drawing some bugs in the evening and I continued this morning. So I'm hopeful that it's a new day and I'm full of sleep and we might catch this creature drawing in the wild today. Wouldn't it be something? Wouldn't it be something, baby cakes? Okay, let's follow through. So hard. It's so hard to try new things that you never tried before. Who knew dungeons are hard? I mean, they're hard for me because I haven't drawn a lot of them. And I just wanted to show that even as someone who draws a lot and to someone who, like, certain things that are in my bag, in my bag of tricks, and like things that I draw often, things that I like to draw, it might look as if they're coming out effortlessly because it's just so much easier. Like, I've drawn things many, many times and I've gained experience based on like how best to do it, what's the best workflow. And right now, I guess I'm just trying something that's quite out of my comfort zone. It's very in theme with me and what I love. It's like fantasy and D&D and dungeons, and I want to go there. So this is very exciting, but I feel very, very like vulnerable stepping into this theme and drawing like these settings and ruins and like finding way to do that while retaining like while staying true to my style because I don't want to like try and adopt a totally new thing and like suddenly become hyper realistic or something. Like that's not what I'm trying to do. I want to like integrate it into my practice. So I guess I don't know. I guess maybe it's obvious and you know it and you don't want to hear it, but I just wanted to be like, hey, I struggle too with drawing sometimes, and it feels very like the fact that I'm sharing it online making it more vulnerable. But like, I think it's scary to start new things either way, and I'm happy to share this process with you. Here's editing me with dirty bangs, but also with insides. While drawing this armor, I figured out that I was having a hard time because I was trying to adhere to the reference too much. It usually happens when I'm not versed in a certain item or scene yet, and then I just kind of like get lost trying to be correct or accurate instead of like being free and playing around with an idea of that item. I actually have made some progress off camera because sometimes the head just works better when you're not filming yourself. Yeah, so I've kind of realized that it's hard for me to think like about surroundings and scenarios if I'm not thinking about the plot and the story. Everything starts with a story. And as well, like Age of Retirement, I feel like could be a cool title because it's like Age of Guilt. I don't know, like age is such a like mythical story way to call something, and then it's like Age of Retirement, so maybe it's funny. So I'm also working out on the letters and making sure I find like I still need to think about the R. I don't know if this is the way, but like the M and E and G I figured out. And now I'm also thinking that like I will probably start with like some very gentle prince, very like manga inspired, and like his escort, like he's gonna have like a very beefy woman bodyguard. I'm gonna call her Tabitha Roy. Oh yeah, and the gentle prince is called Young Master Boo, Prince Elysius Boo the Third, and he's like super, oh, this quest I must follow for my papa, or like something like that, or like actually he's more of a mama's boy, my mama. And then she's the beefy woman who's actually like have been assigned to him to actually do everything because he's like a wimp. And yeah, so just gonna be them. And I think maybe a third person will be like some sort of wise old man, and that's like they gonna be the ones traversing into the dungeons. And this is already in the dungeon. I feel like when they first enter, it's like this grand hall, and there's like the door that looks like
that's where the shit is. You need to go through there. But the door is actually just like, it's just a painting. It's not even a real door. And there's a trap door when you're on top of the stairs. So the thing that happens, every adventurer who like comes in or something, they like, I don't know. I mean, in D&D language, they kind of like do a perception investigation check, and they figure out that there's a trap door there. And then they're like, I will go the smart way. And they journey into the darkness. But like, it's kind of how the dungeon was thought of originally. Like, they want them to go down, and both the trapdoor and this lead to the same place. So it's like, you're trying to be smart, but actually you're dumb. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna do a bit more of just exercising whimsy of my brain out, and I will yeah, I'll catch you next time with updates on how this is going.
And now I'm just gonna come and say a little goodbye, because this was just a nice little cute little video, and I hope it was enjoyable, and maybe you got a little look into the how the beginnings of certain projects start, and kind of the brainstorming and stuff that goes into it. Yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. If you want more whimsy and eternal battle for creativity and how do we live this life, I mean, maybe you have enough of that one, but if you want more of this kind of like cozy whimsical art time, please stay, subscribe, watch my next video, and I will be back soon.